for a long time. Also made multiple, not six, but seven figures. We're talking about a gentleman that was done the Michael Jordan of the industry, been in Success magazine, different magazines of Success from Home. I'm talking about in publications, somebody that's definitely sought after and somebody that has 1,000% of the information. Heart of gold, family man, and love to have fun. So without further ado, I want to bring on my brother and my partner, Mr. Chris Oliver. Chris, are you there?
Absolutely, I am, partner. Can you hear me at this particular time?
Loud and clear, sir. Take it away.
Outstanding. Well, first and foremost, man, before I actually get started, definitely want to thank you for that introduction. And, David Miles hails right here out of the Houston, Texas market, where also I live as well. Is just a consummate business professional. I've known him for probably a couple of decades. He was a six-figure income earner in corporate America at that particular time, and also have been an entrepreneur for more than a decade and a half. So David, definitely appreciate that introduction. So for many of you that are listening in, definitely as you listen in, put your business hats on, ladies and gentlemen, and just remember the mind being pretty much, like a parachute. Parachutes typically work when they're open. So I want you to have that open mindset as you're listening in. And the biggest thing I want you to do as well is I'm going to go through a quick background on myself, and then I'm going to cut straight to the chase and jump into the information. As he said earlier, I've been around business now full time for about 34 years. And in that time period, we built some businesses that have expanded nationally and internationally as well. But I do remember that short stint that I spent in corporate America. It was a humbling experience, because when you can go from having time and freedom and now where you're at a point where you're not enjoying what you're doing and somebody else is controlling your time. And really, I wanted a way to get my time and my freedom back. And I had someone to share an opportunity in business like this with me back in the 90s. And what I saw back then blew me away. Made a decision. 30 days later, I just got profitable. After 90 days, my income went to 5 figures. And within that very first year, it was more than 1 month than what some individuals was earning in an entire year. So it definitely, I was blessed enough not only to have that, but help a lot of other individuals duplicate that same success. And the reason I'm sharing that story tonight is that what you're about to take a look at is what I perceive as 10 times greater than everything that we participated in at that given time. Now, as you listen in, just remember, in earning money, and anytime we generate income, there are 4 different ways how to generate that income. You have what is called now as the employee quadrant. Now, this makes up the majority of individuals, and this is where people are trading time for money. Ladies and gentlemen, anytime you're trading time for money, that's a tough way. And what Robert Kiyosaki says is almost virtually impossible to get wealthy just with that. And a lot of people move to what you call the self-employed. Self-employed area is where now you're in business for yourself, but you're working literally on your own time clock, but at the same time, you're exchanging time for dollars. And this is 95% of the population is within these 2 groups. But guess what? They only split about 5% of the money. Now, where's 95% of the money? 95% of the wealth is within 2 groups. It's what you call the business owners and the investors. Business owners makes up 4%. The investor makes up 1% of that. But these 2 groups split 95% of the wealth. What we're going to be sharing with you tonight is how to move to that 95% of where the wealth is being generated. So our company, which is called Savings Highway Global, ladies and gentlemen, is a 16-year-old business. Company has been credited by the Better Business Bureau as an A+ rated company. Also, the major mission is to help 1 million families to become debt-free. Now, when I looked at it, ladies and gentlemen, what I saw is this. Even though they had 16 years of successful background experience, about 5 months ago, they upgraded the compensation plan, reformulated the marketing, and now the company has gone through almost tripling in numbers just in a very short time. And the CEO and founder of the company, Steve Gresham, is literally the head of a lot of what's taking place. 15 years, traditional background business experience, 30 years around home-based business. Also, he holds a 4th degree black belt in Kempo Karate. Now, here's the biggest thing. In order for you to get 1 degree in black belt, that's pretty tough. But when you start talking about 4 degrees, that takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of attention to detail. So he's brought a lot of that also to the table when it comes down to really running this company. And when you look at the board of advisors that was put together, these individuals have helped companies do tens of millions of dollars. One gentleman helped the company do over 500 million in revenue in just 1 year. But what I saw was that, wait a minute, this is very diverse. I saw none of the isms, no sexism, no racism, no nepotism. What I understood and saw was an even playing field when people could come in and win for themselves and their family. The other thing that was important was going to be price points. What is it going to take for a person to get going in business? And most businesses we've done in the past, it's $500, it was $1,300, $5,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we were looking at something that fit 2022 and beyond. So when I saw a business that a person could launch for $20, that you could come in and get a savings portal pull up. You can actually get your own personal travel engine, or you can come in as a platinum partner like many of us did. And you can get not only the savings and the travel portal, but now what you start to pick up is the Mentors Club. You start picking up the Lowering Your Bills program. You're actually picking up $1,000 that's going to your grocery and your dining, a $3,200 vacation, and then unlimited income, ladies and gentlemen, for just as little as $100 a month, or it can be no cost. And for you pay no more. So like many of us did, same thing with David Miles, myself, when we got going, we shared the business with more than 4 individuals. Because of that, the only thing that we've ever put out of our pockets, ladies and gentlemen, is $100. That's it. Because since that time period, nothing comes out of our personal accounts. That means nothing comes off the credit card, the debit card, or ladies and gentlemen, the checking account, any of that. So as a result, it goes into a reserve, and the reserve gets the opportunity of covering that overhead, which is something I've always looked for in home-based business. Now, when you look at actually the travel, let's go ahead and kind of jump into this. What are the savings that we're talking about? Well, we're talking about everything from traveling and shopping and dining, anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000. So as you're shopping, you're going to be able to pick up employee pricing. So whether that's Macy's or whether you're shopping at Nike, it could be Target, Walmart, Best Buy. You could be looking for something for your home, repair at Lowe's or what have you. But imagine now you're getting employee pricing. We've had partners of ours to get a brake job done on the car, end up saving $170 doing that. Even moving vans, saving $245 on moving vans. Then what if you can save anywhere between $500 and maybe $2,000 on your auto insurance, ladies and gentlemen? So we've had individuals to get their auto insurance evaluated. Because of that, when they looked it up, we had people like Brian Davis ended up saving $1,150 on his auto insurance. I know Pastor Isaiah Searson, over $1,280 on his auto insurance. We had another young lady, Dion, over $500 a month on her auto insurance, which is over $6,000 for the year. Now, here's the thing I love about it is people are keeping money in their pockets, and also they're able to do the same thing dealing with the homeowners and the renters insurance as well. We had a young lady out of Oklahoma City, ended up saving over $3,000 between her auto and the homeowners insurance as well. Now, when we start looking at traveling, at some given point, we're all going to get on the plane, buy an airline ticket, or maybe it's going to be a hotel stay, or it can be a car rental. So can you imagine getting anywhere between 30 to 70% savings on your travel? So we've had partners also to go in and travel. One gentleman going on a business trip on the weekend ended up saving $100 on a couple days stay. Where Rebecca Collins went out to Vegas, the same hotel she was at earlier, about 2 weeks earlier, then she went back. And this time she ended up saving over 50% on that hotel stay. So can you imagine condos where you're getting these vacations that may be a week-long stay, instead of you paying $1,500, now you may be paying as little as $300, ladies and gentlemen, for that particular stay. So when you start to also look at sooner or later, all of us are going to be in the market for some type of vehicle, whether that's a new vehicle or whether it's going to be a used one. So what if your next car purchase, you could save between $2,000 to maybe $5,000 in savings? So we've had partners. A gentleman was buying a vehicle for his son, $15,000 vehicle. He ended up getting it for $12,000. Another person on a Range Rover ended up saving over $5,000 on a Range Rover Sport, a 2018. Not one like it, but I'm talking about the exact same vehicle. Now, when it comes down to our bills, when you start looking at your TV, your cable, cell phone, and matter of fact, with some of these businesses, it could be the actual merchant accounts. It could be the IT. It could be some of the landscaping. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you could now get a free savings review. And when they go and evaluate these particular bills, just like Harold did, with his actual 14 locations of Papa John's restaurants, it ended up saving him over $62,000 on his bills by getting them reviewed. Didn't cost him anything to get that review done, ladies and gentlemen, but that was the net savings for that. But if you needed a domain name, you could get it through here. If you wanted to look at how you lower your taxes, Sandy Bakken has a program put together that can give a person anywhere between maybe $3,000 to $9,000 in savings. So when I start looking at the price point for the value that people are getting, it definitely makes sense. And as Platinum Partners, we can also provide health care. Now, right now, when you look at health insurance for a lot of small businesses or what have you, the price is kind of outrageous. So can you imagine setting up an appointment with that particular business? They get their health care evaluated. Now you're getting lower pricing, you're getting plans for members and employees, zero deductibles many times. And as a result, you get the opportunity of getting paid from that. So when you look at coming in as a Platinum Partner, there's an additional $4,000 on the table as well. $500 can come in the form of grocery coupons. I was just talking to a lady today. She already, ladies and gentlemen, that's the way she's operated, being able to get coupons for groceries. Well, can you imagine now they're being delivered directly to you? So your next time you're shopping, you're saving money, but also saving money on your dining. Now we're talking about going to dinner, going to lunch. You're getting $5, $10, $15, $20 off of your meals. And then this one made it worthwhile alone when you deal with a $3,200 5-diamond getaway vacation. So now at the end of 12 months, if a person has been with this membership, you can choose to do what we did. Get going for 100, refer 4 more people. And guess what? Nothing else has to come out of your personal accounts. And now you got a $3,200 vacation that's coming up after 12 months. And we're talking about, one of the top resort businesses in the world, Vidanta, ladies and gentlemen. 7 of these magnificent facilities are just over in Mexico. So let's say at the end of this year, you decide I'm going to go to one of those particular establishments. The next year, you might say, I want to go to the UK. The next following year, you may say, I want to stay here in the States and go up to the mountains to ski or go out to California, Miami. That is up to you, ladies and gentlemen. So everything I've explained up until this point deals with the membership savings, being able to keep money in the home. And listen, if you knew what I knew that's coming down the pipe that's going to be available to us sometime this year on helping people keep money in their pockets, is going to blow you away. So I want to shift gears just for a moment and talk to you about how the income is being generated and what it is that we do. And there are 10 different ways how we get paid. The first way is what you call fast start bonuses. So when a person comes in with a platinum membership, company's going to pay out 50% of that. That becomes $50. Well, what happens if you shared this and somebody came in with a gold membership? That would be $20 that they came in for, but you would receive $10 of that, ladies and gentlemen. So if you had 10 platinums to come in with you this week, this month, or whatever time it is, well, that's the equivalent of 50 times 10, which is $500. What happens now if you actually wanted to do it at a little bit greater speed? So let's say the first week, you had 3 individuals that came in within the first week as platinum memberships. Well, now that's an additional $100. But if you did 5 within the first 2 weeks, that would be an additional, $200. But if you went and got your 10 done, let's say you've gotten that done in the first month, the first week, the first day, it's up to you. Ladies and gentlemen, you already would have picked up 500. You get an additional $500 on top of that. That the additional bonuses that we're talking about pays out to you the very next month. So that means if you had 50 platinums to come in the next 30 days, well, that could be a total of about $5,000 that will be paid out into you just in bonuses. Now, the next way that we want to look at getting paid, ladies and gentlemen, is going to now talk about the 10-level fast start bonuses and overrides that's available. So when your personal people that you shared it with go out and tell somebody else about it, you probably don't know them. They're going to be on your level too. But you're going to pick up a $10 bonus for that. What happens when they share it with someone else? Well, on the 3rd level, 4th, 5th, 6th, all the way down 10 levels, you're going to pick up $5. Or if they came in at goals, you're going to be picking up $1 for that as well. So that is 100% of what it took for them to get started that's going to be paid out back to you and I. And some of you are saying, well, Chris, man, I think I've heard of something like this before. And I'm going to say this to you very humbly. I want you to think about this. There's never been probably any company you've seen that gives back 100% of what a person get going for. Ladies and gentlemen, when I looked at that, I said, wait a minute, how can they do that? Because on the second month and beyond, that is where the company receives the 20% that they're going to earn, and they still pay out 80%. So in most businesses I've seen, they're only paying between 35 to about 55%. This company is definitely putting more back into the business. So if you started with two people, just as an example of how this way to get paid will work out, if you came in with and you shared it with two memberships, they shared it with two other people, well, guess what? That will be an additional $10,000 in income. What happens if you started with three that duplicated? Now you're looking at about an extra $440,000 in income. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what if you started this with 10? And that 10 shared it with 10. Now you're looking at, we just stopped at 6 levels. We didn't even go 10 levels. But at 6 levels, you're looking at $5 million. And the thing I love about numbers don't lie. Sometimes people may, ladies and gentlemen. So the numbers are the numbers. But the third way that we earn income, it shifts to what is called residual income, which is recurring income. So as you share this with individuals, let's say over those 4 platinum memberships, you're going to receive $25 off of each one, which equates now to $100. So if you're in as a platinum, instead of you having to pay it out of your pocket of $100 because you referred 4, that 4 goes into a reserve account. The reserve account pays for your next upcoming month, which means guess what? Nothing has to come out of your personal accounts. So if you ended up with 10 partners that partnered up as a platinum membership, well, that's what, $250 a month. What happens if you end up with 100 platinums, ladies and gentlemen? That equals $2,500 a month. That's $30,000 a year just on what you did personally. But as you start to build a business, that means that they start sharing it with people. That this opens up what is called your matrix. Now, in the matrix, this is a 3x12 matrix. So if it started with 3, you're going to have people that you're sharing it with. You're going to have people that may fall into your matrix as well. Well, if we looked at everybody coming in, if everybody came in even at gold for $20, and we were looking at 8 levels, that still will equate to close to about $10,000 a month there. Or if everybody did come in at platinum, now you're looking at about $50,000 a month. Well, Chris, what happens if it matures out through 12 levels in this matrix? You're looking anywhere between $9 million and $47 million a year. So if we took the average, half came in gold, half came in platinum, that still puts us where? Around $30 million for the year? See, ladies and gentlemen, even if only 10% of the example worked out, that's still $3 million. See, the thing is, we don't have to understand how all this works. Here's what I looked at. 3 million is a whole lot more than what I was going to get offered in corporate America, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you do. Maybe you got a different pay structure, because some of you are saying, well, come on, man, that sounds like a get rich quick. Don't you hope so? Aren't we just sick and tired of getting rich slow? Well, what do you mean by that? If 2 people in a house and they're both earning $50,000 a year, do you realize that's $100,000 per household? That meant that both individuals will have to work 30 years. And guess what? They've gotten rich slow, because in 30 years, they've earned $3 million. Which one sounds better to you? I'm not sure your age. I'm 55 right now. So I'm not looking to say, well, I want to be working for the next 30 years to do the same thing that I could do in the next 3 years, the next 5 years, the next 2 years. Doesn't it make sense to get it done quicker or faster so that you can enjoy the next 27 years? That's the thing I loved about home-based business. Many years ago, we would get in and build businesses. And as a result, ladies and gentlemen, we had time with our families. We were able to travel the world and be able to do it on our own clock and not have to rush back because the employer only gave us a week or 2 weeks for vacation. See, when we look at this, even if 1% worked out, that's still $300,000 for the year. Now, the 5th way income is earned is a 10% unlimited matching bonus. That means if someone that you shared it with gets to $1,000 in a month or a week, you're going to pick up $100. If they got to $10,000, you're going to be receiving $1,000 during that same time. The next way, or 6th way we get paid, is to lower your bills income. So you can approach businesses which means all of us do business with people. I mean, dry cleaners, restaurants, skating rinks, different places that we go all the time. See, here's what I want you to look at. You have the business, and let's say their net savings ended up being $5,000. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to receive 10% of that that'll be paid back to you, which is $500. Well, what if you did the same thing on the healthcare? You don't have to evaluate, come up with the premiums and come up with deductibles and all of that. That's what the agents will do. They'll get on the line with that business owner, negotiate it, put it in place. If that company had 100 employees, you would average between $30 to $40 an employee. So can you imagine an extra $3,000 to $4,000 a month that's coming in? That's like an extra what, $36,000 or $48,000 a year in income. Then you have lucrative contests and promotions that'll be available. You got store services as the company puts this in place, ladies and gentlemen, this year. Guess what? This is going to be paid out through 10 levels. And the last way that we get paid is what you call the 5% corporate profit sharing. So as the company hits 10,000 platinum partners, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? 5% of the company's profits, they put it into a pool. And guess what? The leaders have the opportunity of splitting that money. How are you going to be receiving all the income that we just talked about? Either it could be on a Visa debit card or it could be on Bitcoin, which is cryptocurrency as well. So as you share this with 2 people, you become a consultant with the company. You shared it with 3, you go manager. You shared it with 5, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You've hit director. At 10, you have become an executive with the company. So we got partners that come in and would knock out that 10 right out of the gate. So we do have other senior ranking positions with the company. When you go executive trainer or senior executive, you don't have to understand the numbers, but just get the concepts. See, if you have between 12 and 15 personals, ladies and gentlemen, you build a team of individuals. At that level, you earn an extra. This is on top of already that 4-5-figure income. You now receive an extra $200 to $500 per month as an expense allowance, or call that a lifestyle bonus. When you become a vice president or senior vice president, you're going to be between a 6-figure and a multiple 6-figure income. Well, at this level, you're going to get an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month on top of the 6-figure income that you got coming in. Well, when you go ambassador, ladies and gentlemen, at this level, you're looking at now when you got 30 personals, 10,000 members on your team, probably averaging about 30-some thousand a month residually, and you get another $5,000 a month lifestyle bonus, and you're going to pick up Breitling watches. So you're going to either be able to pick the women's version or the men's version of the Breitling, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be fully laid out with diamonds. So if you're not familiar with Breitling, maybe you've heard of the Bentley. A Bentley costs a person anywhere between $200,000 to about $500,000 for that vehicle. This is the clock, the timepiece that's in that particular vehicle. The Breitling is in there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're receiving a Breitling just by you getting to ambassador with the company. And then when you look at Crown Ambassador, I mean, just imagine at that point, it's probably close to about 7 figures coming in, and you're going to receive a $10,000 a month lifestyle bonus on top of that particular income. So what are you getting by partnering up with the organization and business? You're going to get prestigious leadership that's in place. You could plug in and be able to save some money, and you could be able to make some money simultaneously. So we have people say, well, how am I going to do this? We have a system in place. The word system means to save yourself time, energy, and money. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to worry about going out creating something where you can save money on your auto. You just plug in and be able to do that. So if you're looking at your time and saying, man, I'm busy, I got a lot on my plate right now. Ladies and gentlemen, put a business in place that can generate residual income. If it can match, quadruple, double, whatever your income, you now have choices. That's how we get our time back. See, if we're busy today and we're still doing the same thing we were doing 3 years ago, and 3 years ago we were busy, if we don't change anything, the next 3 years from now, what are we going to be? We're going to still be busy. But what if you put a business in place and literally it has created a 5, 6, 7-figure income? Now you got choices about your time. So we look at the money to get started. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're only talking anywhere between $20 to get in. Think about it. And I'm here in Houston. There are some restaurants in Houston you cannot go by yourself and have a nice dinner for $20. It's going to be more than $20. So Imagine you now could run and start a multi-million-dollar business, six-figure business, but you get it started for 20, or you can get it started at the Platinum Partnership, which includes the vacation and all of that for $100, ladies and gentlemen. So when a person looks at this, a couple things come to mind. One is, hey, I like what I heard. It makes sense, but guess what? It's not for me. If that's you, I want you to thank the person who has invited you to this particular call if it's not for you. Because just as though you now see what Amazon is, imagine if you had gotten a phone call back when they were just doing books at that time. Where would you be today if you had a chance to get involved in that business? Or you had a chance to get involved with Tesla way before the stock got to $1,000. See, many times we're not in those country clubs. We're not in the boardrooms up there on Wall Street. So we don't get that phone call for the IPO, ladies and gentlemen. You've gotten a phone call at the early stages of a company that's in the process of becoming $1 billion company. And before you say that's impossible, guess what? We were able to do that in the coffee business. We were able to do businesses that went to billions of dollars in sales in the telecom industry. So don't say it won't happen. Just remember, you at least knew the game was being played. The second person, man, I love what I heard, but I just have a couple of questions. Get back on the line with whoever invited you on here. We'll get those questions answered. And that third person say, hey, guess what? You could have gotten quiet, 5 or 10 minutes ago. What do I need to do to get in? Not now, but actually right now. You're going to be able to get back with that individual. So right before I actually close out the call, I do have a couple of partners I want to bring in. One gentleman hails out there on the East Coast, background around the real estate industry. He's been a six-figure player there, has come aboard with this company, has already become an executive with the company right now. So we have Mr. Lee Cornegy online at this particular time. We'd love to be able to hear from your partner. Do we have you online at this time?
Absolutely, Mr. Oliver. Can you hear me okay?
Man, we got you coming through crystal clear. Go ahead.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that outstanding presentation. Very clear, distinct information you delivered tonight. So got me excited all over again. But again, as Mr. Oliver mentioned, my name is Lee Cornegy. I'm out of the Raleigh, North Carolina area. And my professional background started out in computer science and IT. After about 12 years, transitioned over to the real estate industry. Been a real estate broker for over 16 and a half years and been very blessed and fortunate to be reach a lot of success in that industry, making a strong six-figure consistent income. But that success requires working a lot of hours and nearly every Saturday and Sunday. And I never forget one of my mentors, very successful, told me that, hey, Lee, you have to create some residual income to be able to get your time freedom back. So when I was introduced to Savings Highway Global, I first saw that obviously the entry fee was very affordable, but then to see that I could save money on things that I was already spending money on, I was able to save $770 on my cell phone bill in 1 year without switching services or anything. Saved another $109 on my pest control. So obviously very excited about the savings. I shared it with some others and as you mentioned, was able to reach the executive position in just a couple of short weeks. So it's been very exciting to experience these savings and to help others create this residual income and experience these savings as well. So again, Chris, just very excited to be a part of the mission to help 1 million families plus become debt-free, especially in this day and time. So thank you for all that you do, Mr. Oliver. And with that, sir, I will turn the call back over to you.
Outstanding partner. We definitely appreciate you as well. And I want to go out to South Carolina. I've known this, I call him a young man, but, been around, business for over 40 plus years and been also a pastor for 20 plus years as well. And I know, hopefully we got him online right now, but just a consummate business professional, Pastor Isaiah Searson. Do we have you online?
Good afternoon, Mr. Oliver. How are you doing, sir?
Man, fantastic, brother. Go right ahead.
Chris, let me share with you. I was listening to George earlier today, and he was putting some information out. But one of the slides George showed was about money and how money shouldn't be a problem. He showed a private airplane. And I shared with him, Chris, I'm an old guy from South Carolina originally, picked cotton and all of that kind of stuff. I know folks may not remember that kind of stuff, but I did. But to come from that kind of a background where I've flown on private planes and even had a couple opportunities to fly on a couple where the only people on the plane was myself and the pilot. And to come from a place like that and have my whole life shift and turn around because I saw what possibilities were. And then I met a young man named Chris Oliver back in the mid-90s who sat on the front end of a small Mercedes-Benz convertible that cost about $72,000. And this is what that young man said. He said, I did not buy this car for me. I bought this car for you. I bought this car so you can see what's possible. And all of those things that was said over all of those times, because I never knew, Chris, that I could earn $10,000 a month until I started hanging around folks that were doing it. And so when I heard you and others and got away from where I was and other folks who had negative thinking, I realized what possibilities were. For all of the guests on the call tonight, guys, from a pastoral background, I know we serve a God that has everything, but we have to believe in order to get it. And what Chris has put on in front of us tonight, it hinders that, it takes that belief and take it into the stratosphere. So I salute Mr. Cornegay and Brother Miles and others who are here, and everything Chris said. I salute and Brother Oliver. Your life, the way you've lived it, how you've lived it, is such an inspiration that it put me to where I am today, but now I'm teaching thousands how to do the same. So God bless you. SHG is indeed the place to be.
Outstanding, outstanding. We definitely appreciate you as well. And I want to go to another gentleman that I've known him since back, I believe in the mid to late 90s. And this gentleman went on from being a person that was part of that company, becoming part of the leadership, to where he moved from that point and became the owner of his own company. So we have Mr. Jeb Tyler online at this particular time. Love to be able to hear from you as well.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Chris. Amazing job tonight, as usual. You laid out the information perfectly. And it's so exciting to have people like Pastor Searson and all the amazing leadership, Jork Battle, amazing leaders like yourself and Steve Gresham at the helm of this company, really gearing us and steering us to the right direction on the road to $1 billion. And I couldn't be more excited today about where the company is. Since coming aboard, we've tripled the size of the company in the past 5 months, and it's just beginning. We haven't even taken off internationally yet, which is going to be happening in 2022. And we're attracting some of the top leaders in the industry. And it's very simple why. The compensation plan's right, the timing's right, the top leadership's right, and the management running the company is absolutely perfect. So when you have all those components in place at the right time, that's what creates massive momentum. That's why I'm so excited. And that's why I'm doing this on a full-time basis, because I know where we're going to be 5 years from now, and it's going to be changing a whole lot of people's lives. So if you're looking at this for the first time, everyone is a candidate for SHG to come in, because the savings are so real and so plentiful. And people now more than ever are looking to save money and make money. And we have the best of both worlds here. So I'll turn it back over to you, Chris. Thanks so much.
Outstanding. Well, last but not least, I do want to bring this gentleman in as well. And for many of you, you might say, well, why are there so many individuals that sharing with you? When you have people that have been able to earn 7 and 8 figures, I think it's always important to be able to just listen to say, what was it that attracted to them to this, that they were willing to come and help this company launch and build and go national, go internationally as well. What is in their mindset? So this next gentleman, I've known him for at least a couple of decades as well. He's been in the industry full time for more than 30 plus years. And so Mr. Jork Battle, if we have you on the line right now, partner, come in right quick and share a little bit as we close out tonight.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Oliver? Can you hear me?
Absolutely. We got you crystal clear. Go ahead.
All right, man. Always awesome, man. I just get fired up every time I hear it, because I know day by day we're getting closer to where we're completely financially free. And that's what it's all about, guys. I mean, Jork Battle here in Houston, man, listen, guys, the timing is perfect. One thing the timing is about is this incredible matrix we got. You want to get yourself in position, because I was going to say binary, but it works just like that binary system, in that the sooner you get in, the sooner you can start seeing spillage, because, you know, we're going to be building this thing 10, 15, 20 deep, guys. And that's what the leaders are doing. And that's what leaders do. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know a business where you just market 3 or 4 items and you get wealthy. You know, it can happen here, but why not go ahead and put that cement on it? That's what we're doing. We go and put that cement on it by bringing on about 10 or 15 partners and not worrying about it, guys, whether you've been in the industry before or not. Who cares? I mean, what's important is right now today. And that's what people got to get out of themselves in the past and really look forward. You got to have a big vision. And guys, I tell you, that's what we're putting forth here. We're putting forth a huge, gigantic, man, if you just get 10% of what Mr. Oliver just shared, 10%, you build your matrix 10% of the full size and you still a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Guys, this thing is crazy. You could get started for as little as $20. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the mic on that one, Mr. Oliver. Back to you, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, I want you to get back with the person that invited you on tonight. You see it, let's link arms, let's run together. All it takes is a decision, whether you're in or whether you're out. I don't want you to get off the call, get all confused, procrastinate, build up a dilemma, hypertension, stress, heart attack, stroke, and die trying to make a decision. It's an easy, are you in or are you out? And next step, we're running, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we got a full 2022 ahead of us. It can take you putting your head down for the next 90 days to 6 months. And guess what? You could provide a platform where you could be in a position where you'll never have to punch a clock for anybody else another day in your life, or just imagine you building generational wealth. So with that said, take care, be blessed, and we will see you at the top. Take care, everybody. Be blessed and have a great evening and afternoon as well. Take care. Be blessed.